Welcome back to The Big Picture. My guest is Lauren Fix, and we're talking all things cars. Lauren, there's a service out there, we see advertisements for it all the time, and I don't quite understand how it works, why we should be interested in it, but Carfax. Mm-hmm. They seem to know everything about my car without me telling anybody about my car. And so I'm wondering how that works.
Well, Carfax is a service, it's an actual company, and what they do is they collect data, and they charge the dealer's information. So they know the cars that are sold, because all that information is available, and they just have people keystroking it into the system. It's automatically filtered in. So if your car's in an accident, let's say you're in a fender bender, and you take it to the dealer to get it repaired. The insurance company will report it, and so will the dealer. And they charge the dealer and the insurance company, and that's how they stay in business, right? So there's a fee. So why are they doing that? Well, it protects the investment of the car. So if you were driving, you got hit, and I'm gonna buy that car secondhand, I should know that that car was in a fender bender, and if there's a problem, we can attribute it to that. It also could lower the value of the cost of the vehicle because it was in an incident. So that's what they do, and the reason they have the service is, and they don't have every car, because a lot of times, for example, flood damaged cars, and the perfect example is during Katrina and Rita, when we had those two hurricanes in New Orleans, in that area, there was 650,000 flood damaged cars, and they were all supposed to be reported. Now do the math. Let's just say that Carfax charges $500 per vehicle times 650,000 cars. That's a huge intake of income for them, but the insurance companies don't want to pay that. So they paid out the people that had flood damaged cars. Some people you will never know because they didn't have insurance, because it's not required in that state. But the rest of the vehicles were purchased by the insurance company, and they sat in parking lots, and they were supposed to be destroyed. They weren't. Many of them went to salvage yards, and salvage yards would say, wow, did you see that Lexus? It's in perfect condition, super low mileage. It's flood damage. We'll air it out, we'll put some perfume in that, and we'll sell it. So you would go to Carfax and say, I'm interested in this Lexus. It's on a lot anywhere in the country. They were everywhere. I mean, they've gone into Canada, they're all over the world. That was just that hurricane, was 650,000 cars were flooded. So of those, there's millions of them out there, of flood damaged cars, and I highly suggest don't ever buy a flood damaged car. There's no warranty, electrical problems, safety features don't work, all kinds of nightmares. And plus you're exposing yourself to whatever was in the water, which is most likely sewage. So that means there's mold, mildew. If you got any sort of health issues, I would stay away from it. But anyway, so these cars got sold. So you go to look online, you're going, oh, I'm gonna look at that Lexus, it looked really nice. Low mileage, the price seems right, and you go online, you don't have any information. If you don't have any information, then you as a consumer could have bought that car, even though it says somewhere along the list of ownership that it was delivered to a dealer in New Orleans, sold to someone locally there, and then that's all you have. That's a flag. That should be a flag to you. And Carfax has that, saying, hey, this car was from New Orleans. You know, we're here in Buffalo. How'd that car get up here? And then you can, that's when you contact your dealer, for example, Lexus or whatever brand, and talk to the service department and say, here's the vehicle identification number. What do you got on this? And they may go, oh, that car's been flooded. They may go, we have nothing. That car may have had a recall. Geez, how did it get up here? And they might not be able to tell you that. But a lot of times it goes through auctions. So there's something called title washing, and this is how you avoid these flood damaged cars. If it gives you doubt on any used car, never be afraid to walk away. So what happens is the car will sell from those salvage lots. They fix them up, they make them nice. They have a salvage stamp on the title that says its car's been flooded. So they send it to a state like Pennsylvania, and it goes through an auction, and then they send it to another state like in Ohio, and as they retitle it every time, that flood damage disappears from the title. And so you would never know. And it could put you at risk, unless you know it and you've got the skills to put it back together. You would never know if it's in an accident or anything. And all of that is what Carfax attempts to do. They also give people good information on like odometer rollbacks. I did a story with them. I was very interesting. You'd think, who can roll back an odometer? It's all digital. But when you go to register the car in New York State, it'll throw a flag. Because New York State, because we plug in the onboard diagnostics to find out, hey, is this car, what's the mileage, because they keep track of it so they know how many miles you're driving, and of course that matches to the insurance company. It's really interesting because if they say, hey, it had 13,000 miles on it, now it's got 3,000 miles, how did it lose mileage? It only gains, it doesn't lose. So that would throw a flag, and the state would then contact you, and they would change your title automatically as unregistered mileage. And so that would change the resale value. You go to a dealer, they're going to go, I don't want this car. This car's had a rolled back odometer. So all of that is to protect the consumer, and that's really what their whole mindset is. But I also think it's important, it's good information, and the insurance companies pay for that so that their customers don't buy cars that have been damaged, and they're insuring something they assume isn't. So that's really what it's all about.
It's interesting, and you talk about a lot of things that are kind of pitfalls. Most commonly, what might be the most frequent mistakes that people make when they're looking to get into buying a car, maybe selling a car, whatever, but the most common mistakes?
Impulse. So it's like when you're checking out at Wegmans or Tops and you see that gum there, like, oh, I could use a pack of gum. But you think you're not gonna do that with a car, but you do. Oh, that's the car I always wanted. It's the color I want, it's the option, I drove it, oh, I love this car. And you fall in love with the car, but there's another one exactly like it at a dealer down the road. Because most of the brands, we have more than one here in the Buffalo area. And I always recommend buying local. It's good for our economy, it's good for people, it's all good. But there are times where it's not a good deal. So this is why going online is worth your time. So if you want a Honda Civic, well, since I'm mixing up brands here, and I love this car, it's exactly the color I want, the options I want, they made a lot of those. And you can go to another Honda dealer in the Western New York area, and maybe the price seemed kind of high to you and they weren't very negotiable, or you don't like the way they treated you, or it's a salesperson, whatever. Get online, look around, and you'll find that there's a dealer in Rochester, there's a dealer, I used to buy all my Audis out of Erie, because the dealer always treated me right. They would literally deliver the car to me, pick it up and bring it back. And it wasn't because it was me, because that was their customer service. And they knew that, and they were taking business away from the Buffalo dealer. So now the Buffalo dealer is owned by West Her, so there's been some changes, but it's really interesting to see that. So shop around, just like you would if you're gonna buy a refrigerator. You wouldn't just go walk into one store. You'll walk into a bunch of stores. You'll do your research online. You do the same thing with putting a new roof on your house. You do the same thing with putting windows in your home. We even go to Yelp when we're looking for a good restaurant. But you don't go, oh, that's the first restaurant that popped up. No. Let's look. Please do that when you're going to buy a car. Take it for a test drive. Bring your kids with you if you've got children, because especially child safety seats, if you've got a lot of them in there, but kids will tell you, I don't like this car. Why? There's no pocket in the back seat for me to put my stuff. And you may go, oh, I didn't even notice that. They'll see things that you don't. And children do help make decisions on cars, believe it or not.
Well, quite literally, I am looking at buying a car in the next month or so. And I took a car into the dealer as a potential trade, and he gave me a value on that car. Do I have bargaining power when it comes to that trade-in?
It depends what it is, and it depends on the condition. So first thing I always say when you're going to look at a vehicle, you're going to walk in, hey, Phil, how you doing? What are you looking to do today? You want to buy? You're going to lease? You got a trade-in? Don't answer any of those questions. And no salesperson should ever ask you that out of the box. Welcome, look you in the eye, shake your hand. This is a business deal. You have to remember, this is not, I know it's very personal to people because you're driving it. It's a reflection of you. So that's the first thing. And if they say you're trading in, go, I'm not sure yet. Let me see if I can find the right car, then we'll talk about the trade. So then what you do is you go find the car you want, you test drive it, you think you found, this is the vehicle you want, you've decided, you've looked online, you did all your homework. You were ready, you called your insurance agent to find out the rates. You've literally done everything you need to. And then when you get the price, go, let's just talk an out-the-door price. That's the key words, out-the-door price. That means they're gonna add on all these services and dealer fees and all that, and that's where you can go, I'm not paying for your dealer fees, because literally what they're doing is taking the paper from one side of their desk and moving it to the other side of their desk, and they charge you between $75 and $1,500, sometimes more, depending on what you're buying, which is ridiculous. And I've had conversations with dealers locally about that too. And I've told them I'm not paying it. You can roll it into the price, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm not paying it because it's ridiculous. And I take cars without plates too because I have dealer plates. But in the meantime, that's the one thing. So now you got your price. You got your out-the-door price. You are very happy with the outdoor price. You've negotiated it. You got all your incentives. You got all your discounts. And two things people forget, loyalty and conquest. So when you're going back, let's say you're buying a Ford, and you walk back into the Ford dealer and go, oh, you're driving a Ford right now. Yep, love the brand. I want a loyalty discount. When you're coming down to the negotiation, they'll go, if any salesperson says there's no such thing, they're lying to you. they're lying. It's anywhere between $500 and $1,500. It could be as much as $2,500 in an expensive car. So you're going back to Mercedes-Benz, there's a loyalty discount. Now, if you're driving a Mercedes-Benz and you drive over to the BMW dealer and go, man, these cars are great, I want to buy one. Oh, I see you're driving a Mercedes-Benz. Yes, I want a Conquest discount. So it's loyalty for staying, Conquest for leaving. And of course, anyone who says there's no such thing is lying to you because it's there. Because if you don't get it, the dealer gets it. And again, on an expensive car, especially if you're talking, a lot of cars are 6 figures now, that could be $2,500 that you literally gifted the dealer when it should have been a discount on your vehicle. So now you got your price, got all your prices in. Then you say, if I was going to trade in this vehicle, what would you give me? Again, do your homework online. You can go to Kelley Blue Book online. You can go to Carfax. There's a million places to go. Cars.com, Auto Trader. Find it, put in all your information. Take the time to put in all the accessories and options, whatever you have, and get a price. And be honest with yourself about condition. Is it good? It needs a lot of work. Or it's an excellent, perfect condition. I took good care of it. And then have your receipts. And have the person go out and look at it, and they're going to make you a price offer and go, really? Because here's all the receipts for this. I have every receipt, including inspections. I've taken good care of this car. What's the best you can give me? And they're going to give you a number and go, that's not good enough. And believe me, there's still a shortage of used cars.
Okay, we've got about a minute left. I want you to tell us about your YouTube channel, about where people can go, because you do a lot of reviews. And I don't know how many you've done, but
I put out
it's a lot.
6 to 7 a week videos. Yeah. My videos range from car reviews of literally anything from electric vehicles, hybrids, gas, diesel. I even did a motorcycle just the other day. I have a motorcycle license, but I haven't been riding in years. All the way to ways to save money at dealers, and also what's going on you may not realize, like data collection, kill switches that have been put in through the infrastructure bill, things that are passed. I'm not a political person. It drives me crazy when the government gets their fingers into the dealers and the manufacturers because it messes with us, and it costs all of us money and privacy issues. And so I try to cover the things that impact the average person. So all of that's at Car Coach Reports on YouTube. If you don't like YouTube, I'm on Rumble, I'm on Truth, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. Everything is at Lauren Fix, LAURENFIX. And I don't charge for any of this. I do it to help people get car smarts. And I think that's really the whole idea. It started off with just, I love doing the car reviews, and it's really been a great way to give back.
And you travel all around the world.
Yeah, I'm going to Korea. I'm going to the UK for Goodwood Festival of Speed. I'll be at the Pebble Beach, and we do a million islands. So I also a concourse judge, so I'm having a good time with that.
All right, there you have it. If you want to know anything about cars, that's where to go, Lauren Fix. We want to thank Lauren for being our guest on this Big Picture. I want to thank you for watching The Big Picture, and thank you for watching WBBZ-TV. We're your local station, and we really appreciate it. And we will see you next time on The Big Picture.